I think for them, for the players, it's been a change completely of structure and practice schedule, meeting times, how we do things in a two-a-day schedule, and that takes a little getting used to. So, we have one tomorrow, and we got some guys that you get to practice 7 or 8, and you get some guys that legs are tired a little bit, and, no matter what kind of shape you're in, and it showed a little bit today. They were dragging a little bit, but we got to. That's where we got to develop leadership, and coaches don't necessarily need to. We need to get some of our players leading, and instead of coaches yelling and screaming to get guys going, we got to get some players who have to get outside themselves and do more than just get themselves through practice. They got to be leaders, and we've got enough guys on this team that have played meaningful football that can do that. But I think things are so different for them right now. They don't know where they're going next. So, we'll be better next week. We'll be better, but I think we're getting the groundwork in that we need for our guys to have a chance to scrimmage Saturday. Yep. I know this is going to sound crazy and kind of philosophical, but it's human nature to do as least as possible and get away with it. And as a coach, it's your nature to try to make people perfect. And so, you get through times in camp, particularly with new faces and everything else, the expectation, I'm not saying the expectation levels are different or higher, but I just think they're different. What we want you to do, how we want you to do it, and there's some growing pains involved in that, and I think you've seen that with some guys leaving camp.
How are your kicking and punting games shaping up?
It's kind of interesting. Today we did some work in the red zone, and we kicked a couple of field goals. We made them. So from my standpoint, it's pretty good. You get back to spring and everything we worried about. I think, what did we miss? One, maybe one or two, one maybe for the whole spring in Kyle Field. So I kind of judge things that go on in those types of situations in the stadium. We were running guys on and off, not when we just put the ball on the 12, put the ball on the 15, and guys are comfortable in the end. So we've got good competition. I think the competition is we've got to find a whole operation that we're comfortable with, kicker, holder, and snapper. And so the competition right now, I think, is that snapper is wide open. I think we've got to develop some holders, guys that we're confident in, and it's just like anybody else. Certain kickers like certain holders. And they're comfortable with them, but we've got to. That's really what the next few days about and Saturday's about, and that's what I was getting at about dealing with pressure and with people around. It's a lot easier. It's like anybody who's played golf. You got with your buddies and play, or you get used to a comfort zone. You can hit the ball. You're playing a pro-am and there's people lined up over there. The first thing you're thinking about is hitting somebody else with the ball, and your mind wanders. And that's why, kicking in a stadium with people around, with a clock and a rush, I think that's important.
In terms of punting?
We've had good days and we've had bad days, so we've been inconsistent there. And I think we've got a couple guys that are capable. We're not looking for a 60-yarder and a 28-yarder. If we could have a 38 to 42-yarder with hang time, I'd be happy with that. And, so Coach Pillian's working hard at it. We're charting everything, and those guys know it's an open competition all the way across the board. And as a matter of fact, we've got a lot of positions going like that right now, and I think that's healthy. I think it keeps guys on edge. I think that's what's going to generate some more fire here in the camp, and because guys understand they've got to come to work every day and try to earn their spot.
You mentioned this before, but how hopeful are you to get a good crowd out Saturday, because that does help you in the practice?
Well, I think it helps for practice. I think we didn't. We had a deal in the spring for for fans a little bit. We had the what do you call it? Where we had a little camp out there for the kids,
Right.
you know. But I think it's good for our players to you know, for fan appreciation, to get out and meet people and sign things. But it's also good, like I said, from a competition standpoint, you know, for kickers and skilled people and people who make plays and put a little bit more pressure on them and make them have to think. I think, you know, it's a good situation for everybody, being as how practice is closed and everybody thinks they know what's going on out there. It'll give them, they can make their own decisions in an hour and a half. That's what I like though too. So we get to see them the whole time, but you know, we got some new guys that I think people would be anxious to see, and you know, particularly when we're playing our first game on the road, you know, and the fan appreciation day afterwards. It's a great deal to, you know, for our guys to come out, and it's a chance for them not to listen to me all day, which I know they'll be really, really happy about, particularly if there are a lot of people here.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys good?